Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Beatrice Fantoni, and I'm here with Julian Revin and Vincent Georgie, the Executive Director of the Windsor International Film Festival. And so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the films that are coming up this week. Thanks, Vincent, for coming in again to join us. So to start, I'm curious because Windsor's sort of known as a union town, and Pride is on the schedule for this week. Tell us a little bit about this film.
Pride's definitely a crowd pleaser. It's very much in the spirit of the Full Monty. It's the story of a group of gay and lesbian activists showing their support for striking coal miners. And this is a true story based out of the UK. That's a true, but actually a very untold story. Some people are not really familiar. So how these two minority groups came together and gained strength by uniting together. And two groups that normally wouldn't necessarily go together, a gay and lesbian association and coal miners wouldn't necessarily be a natural allies, and it's a beautiful story of how they did come together and support each other, and the strength that they drew from each other. Very, very funny, very enjoyable, lighthearted, but still important. Again, if you enjoyed the Full Monty, it's got some real charm. Pride's going to be a hit, no question.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I have on my to-see list, because I'm a big fan of the British artist J.M.W. Turner's landscapes, is the film Mr. Turner. Which looks a little enigmatic, and I also saw that it won an award at Cannes for cinematography. So I'm wondering if it's like a visually beautiful film then.
Yeah, Mr. Turner is a visually beautiful film. If you're doing a film about an artist, you can expect that there's going to be an interesting visual aesthetic, and there certainly is. Mr. Turner is directed by Mike Leigh, the British director that's renowned. He did Vera Drake and all sorts of great films. It's a really well done biopic, but in the best sense of the word. It's emotional, it's well polished, it's very well acted. The lead actor, Timothy Spall, one of those actors you know by face and not by name. He's in some of the Harry Potter films. You may recognize him from there. He also won Best Actor at Cannes. So they got 2 prizes. So really amazing performance in that. It's a very good drama. And again, his performance, he mumbles a lot and grumbles a lot. It's a very unique performance. It's a standout. It's really solid drama, Mr. Turner.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Ready? I have a couple of films I'd like to talk to you about.
Yeah.
I am a huge music buff.
Yes.
I love music. I love British music. I love The Cure. I grew up with my friends in high school. We loved wearing black and the whole goth scene. And there's a film that's showing called God Help the Girl that's based in England, and it's about a young woman named Eve, and she starts writing songs.
Yeah.
She hooks up with another guy and another girl. They start writing songs and they start performing in the indie scene. So I'm just curious what this film, what it has to offer in terms of, like, if it's a music film. I'm so curious about the soundtrack. Tell me what you know about this film.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really cool film. I mean, if anyone's a fan of Belle and Sebastian, there's an association there with the filmmakers and the band. I'm not going to get too into it.
Okay.
There's some surprises in there that are enjoyable, and anyone, again, Belle and Sebastian fans, check this film out. You'll enjoy that very much. And it's a movie musical like you've not really seen before. It's very innovative in the way it's done. It's ragtag. It's definitely very indie, no question. The singing is great. The charm of it's great. It's very kitschy as well. It's somewhere between Glee meets something actually kind of cool. Like indie and British and really good cast. Also, it's got a real feeling, same aesthetic like a Wes Anderson film. The producers of this film also produced The Royal Tenenbaums. So you can get that sort of feel. So there's a real costumey charm to it as well. But God Help the Girl is going to do really well. Anyone that just loves great music film is going to love that. You like musicals. Really, really good film. It's fun. It's definitely fun.
Oh, excellent. I'm thinking it's a nostalgic film for me. I just remember growing up listening to New Order and Sid Vicious and the Sex Pistols and Joy Division, and I'm wondering, is it a sort of a coming-of-age film? Do these characters, I guess they kind of grow with the music, right?
They do, exactly right, and the characters do develop their own identities and personalities with music, and as time advances, so does musical taste, and that comes through actually quite clearly in the film, and it really adds for a very charming, glass half full type of film. It's really enjoyable. Yeah, it's got its own little unique charm. It stands out.
Oh, something to look forward to.
Yeah,
more.
For sure.
My second choice is An Eye for Beauty, and I chose this film because I love films that have an incredible landscape. And this particular film is about architecture, and I believe it's set in Quebec.
Yes, it is.
Quebec is on my bucket list. I have not been to Quebec. I've been to Paris, I've been to France. I've heard Quebec and Montreal are both like the Paris of Canada.
Well, I'm from there, so I'll take you.
Okay,
yeah,
let's go.
We'll go. I can take you to all the good spots. Yeah. An Eye for Beauty is a really special film, and again, it is about the physical environment around these characters. And it's very, very much a Quebecois film, a film that is very sexual, very liberal, very questioning about relationships, questioning about fidelity, and also just the classic Quebecois questions and identity. So the film is quite refreshing in that way, in the way it treats love and relationships and conversations. You can definitely identify it as a Quebecois film. It's from the director Denis Arcand, who did Barbarian Invasions and Jesus of Montreal. Now, this film for sure is not one of his masterworks. This is more an aside of a film, but it's still an enjoyable piece of work from a filmmaker that deals with very adult issues. This is a film for adults, and there's also an attractiveness to it. It's a beautiful film. The architecture is beautiful. The actors are beautiful. It's definitely a aesthetically pleasing film. Yeah.
How did you pronounce the director's name again?
Denis Arcand.
Oh my goodness. I would not have pronounced it like that. It really is set in Quebec. Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to so many films.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
You know what I would probably say too, another film that is coming later in the festival I think people will really enjoy is the Yves Saint Laurent film. Okay. That is, I think, really, really great. It's one of those that should be a slam dunk for people. It's beautifully made. The actor that plays Yves Saint Laurent is perfection in the film. He's very, very good in it. It hasn't premiered at the festival. It's playing Friday and Saturday, but definitely catch Yves Saint Laurent. It's really lovely. That's gonna go over really well.
One more to keep in mind.
Yeah, you want to catch that one. Yeah, there are. Yeah, 100.
So many. 6 days, my friends. It's Tuesday today. The festival runs until Sunday. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not sure what you want to see, visit windsorfilmfestival.com for some information on the films. Also published in Windsor Star on our website, windsorstar.com, and in the newspaper we have Vincent's Picks of the Day. So keep your eye out for that if you're not sure what you'd like to see or if you need to fit something into your schedule. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
yet
of course.
again.
Pleasure.
All
it's
right.
fun.
Thank you.
Thank
See you at the movies.
Of course.
See you at the movies. Thanks. Take care.